right, fellas, today we're talking about mastering lifelong wood control. I was looking at this YouTube video the other day, and this guy was an older guy, he was in his 70s, and my man looked like straight up in his 30s, easily. He did a little Grecian formula with the hair, but it's like his body was there, and my man just dropped a bar. He basically said, you have to work harder every year to stay younger. It's like, woo. Wow, that's deep and sounds about true. And so the question is, do you have to do that with your erections too? We're going to answer that today because, hey, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B. I'm the men's performance coach with Good Wood. And as a sexual performance coach, it's my job to figure out what it takes for you to last as long as possible, because I have clients in their 60s and their 70s, and they're able to get back and get good. But it's like, let's make sure you don't lose any to begin with. So today we're going to talk about what happens to your erections as you age, as you get older. And it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s or 30s and you're hearing this, you need to pay attention because we're talking about erectile dysfunction. Yeah, you want to avoid all of that. So today I have 4 solutions we're going to talk about and 2 action items you can get into right now. Okay, so let's get into it. What happens with your erections with age? And the first thing we have to talk about is the frequency and the spontaneity of it, because you may notice as you get older that you have less frequent erections or even the spontaneous ones, especially like the morning erections. And this is due to declines in your testosterone levels and, just basically nerve sensitivity. And also there can be a change in the firmness and duration, like how long you last, because your erections are just not going to be as firm as they were when you were younger. This is because the tissues inside of your penis actually get harder over a period of time. And there's ways to prevent that, and you need to know it. And of course, that duration of how long you're lasting with your erections, that's partly tied into that testosterone, because you need that for that stamina. And some other things that can happen as you get older, there may be a delay from the time that you want that erection until it shows up. And once you have an orgasm, once you ejaculate, it could take even longer to get back up. And there may be some changes in the level of sensitivity, so you're not really feeling it like you used to. Testosterone production drops quickly after age 50 to become 20 to 50% lower than its peak when you hit 80. That's a lot. Now, this can lead to what's called fragility syndrome. We're talking about a decrease in libido. You're easily fatigued, your mood disturbance. You're just a cranky old man. Also, your testosterone around age 40 to 50 starts turning it into estrogen through a process called aromatase. That's the reason why it's just harder to gain muscle and lose fat and keep erections, because you need testosterone for all of that. And it's like your woman, you got more estrogen. So I encourage you to really get into this, because the earlier you start making changes to your habits, the easier it is for you to age gracefully. And let me tell you, off rip, it is harder not only to change your body, but also to change your mind as you get older. You're just used to doing certain things. Make sure you check out my other video from last week. We're talking about biohacking your erections. We go a little bit more deeper into that. Of course, there are herbs that can slow down, decelerate the process of your testosterone turning into estrogen, and we'll talk about that in a second. So one of the main things you need to do is pay attention, man. I mean, think about it. When you had sex 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday, how was it? Do you remember? What about 3 years ago? 3 months ago? 3 decades ago. See, here's the great thing about being human is that we have a great memory. And the other great thing about being a human is that we have a fucked up memory, because there's some things we need to let go of, and there's other things we need to remember. We need to remember when things aren't working correctly so we know to fix them. That is why you need a sexual performance journal. Basically, you're just writing down when you have your sexual experience, exactly how was it? Were you at that 10 level, or were you at that we almost didn't have sex 4 level? Now, mind you, there is a long laundry list of the reasons why your erections are not where they should be. And of course, you just need to understand what is going on so that you can improve them. That's the reason why you want to take a look back and see what was happening. Once you have your journal in place, once you have a path that you're seeing, you can now see the patterns and you can make the adjustments. And you only have to do just a quick 1% per day in terms of improvement. You ate a little bit more salad. You got out in the sun a little bit more. You slept a little bit longer. All of these things help out. And of course, the big question is, man, what are you thinking about? Men are great at compartmentalizing, which can also be a bad thing. You know, you can be stressed and not even know it. Recently on our new call-in show, I had a police officer call in, and great story. He'd been following me, lost a bunch of weight, all this wonderful stuff, but he still wasn't where he needed to be. And I asked him about his stress. And this was before he told me he was a police officer. I'm like, I'm not sure what you do. When you're a police officer and you're not stressed, more than likely he is great at compartmentalizing it. He gets stressed at work, doesn't take it back home. Great thing, but your body still knows. Your mind still remembers. So you still need to set yourself up so you're not overstressing yourself and just not thinking about it. And of course, there's always that relationship stress. You know, sometimes we think relationship stress is normal when it's not. You should be having a happy situation with your significant other. And that's when it comes to, you know, understanding your mindset and everything, because in order for your relationship to get better, you have to work on it. And one of the great things about relationships, what women like, is they like a man with self-control, a man who is disciplined. I mean, you know, it doesn't show it at first, but, you know, after a while they understand it. Yeah, that level of discipline gets them to where he needs to be, and they rest in their femininity on that one. Also, just remember for yourself that stress can affect your blood flow, your hormones like cortisol will start popping up, you're constricting your blood vessels, you know, you're cutting off supply of blood to your penis, all of which is not a good idea. And if you're staying in that fight or flight situation constantly, you're taking blood flow away from, you know, your sexual organs to your brain so you can think your way out of it. You're always just tense, ready to go. That's not a good state to stay in. And also, that level of stress is going to increase your anxiety and your overall performance. It's just going to make sex more difficult. It's going to make it harder for you to relax and just enjoy it. I mean, we're talking about creating a vicious cycle of like, yeah, I'm so stressed when I have sex, it's not great, so I'm stressed some more, and it's a downward cycle. And let's talk about something that's really important, which is mastering your mindset, because if you want to master your erections for life, you have to master your mindset, just how you think, because the truth is you are going to have to work for your erections. I mean, you have to think of it like this. Women are born with all the egg cells they have in their life. For men, we have to produce our sperm cells every day, every second. In fact, there's 1,500 sperm cells produced per second. Over 65 to 75 days in a spermagenesis, a full cycle. We're talking about 8 billion sperm cells. Yeah. You do that, man. And so that means that you have to work. Your body is constantly working. So a great way to look at this is make it like I did, is make it a game, make it a hobby, make it something that you just focus in on, because when it comes down to it, hey, it'd be nice to have sex for the rest of your life. A lot of things are going to drop off, but the greatest entertainment set ever made is still going to be between your legs. And when it comes to that mindset, you really want to start stacking your habits. It's like, oh yeah, well, I got to walking, now I got to jogging, now I got to, running, you're stacking things one on top of the other. It doesn't have to be all at one time. It's all about the way that you want to live your life on autopilot, just doing all the right things. I mean, think of yourself as a sexual performance athlete and you're just constantly looking to improve. And like I said at the beginning, you have to work harder every year. This is a personal, lifelong study. No one ever said, you know what, when I hit insert age, I don't mind if I don't have erections anymore. I've talked to a lot of guys. Not one time have I ever heard that one. If you have an issue, take it seriously and start getting it fixed. You're doing a good job right now, sir. Yeah, keep paying attention. Because the question is, what are you doing today to improve? And after that is, what's your plan for the next week, month, years, decades? You need to have all of this lined out with the goal that, hey, I'm going to be 60, 70, 80, whatever age it is, and I'm still going to be functioning at my highest level. Guys, if I knew what I knew now, 20 years ago, I'd be 20 years better. But now I'm thinking about what happens 20 years from now. So I now have that opportunity and I'm taking full advantage, I want you to do the same thing. So let's go ahead and get a couple of solutions right now, because one, we have a study from Ayers that shows that stinging nettle is a herb that will slow down the process of testosterone changing into estrogen. And that is why we added that to our new formula, Goodwood Advance. So for our guys, as you get older, your 40s and 50s, in order to stop that process, you have Goodwood Advance with stinging nettle so you can increase your testosterone and keep more of it. And when it comes to those actionable solutions, go ahead and get your Goodwood Advance, link below. Get to work, sir. And the question of the day, what is the one area that you need to get fixed yesterday that you need to be working on consistently so that you can get to your best self? Please leave that comment below. And of course, if you like what you heard, go hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so we can get some more of this information to you. And this is Uncle B saying, get your game up and go hard. Peace out.